All right, so let's look at doing operations of functions. So I'm given two functions here and I've got to do operations. My first operation I'm going to do is addition. So this is not too bad. F plus g of x is equal to f of x plus g of x. And so I'm going to take my f of x function, which is x minus 5, plus my g of x function, which is x squared minus 1. And when you're adding and subtracting, all you're doing is combining like terms. And when I express this, what I would do is I would go in descending order. So I go from highest power to lowest power. So my highest power is x squared. And there's nothing to combine with x squared. And then x, there's nothing to combine with x, and x is positive plus x. And then finally, I have negative 5 plus negative 1. Negative 5 plus negative 1 is negative 6. So it'll be minus 6. And so that's my solution. All right. F minus g of x means f of x minus g of x. So x minus 5 minus x squared minus 1. Okay. Now, here's the key when you're subtracting. In this case, I'm subtracting this whole quantity. And so when I'm subtracting a whole quantity, I'd rather turn this into an addition problem. What I would do if I were you, make this a plus and change the sign of each of those values. So there's this, there's the rule that if you have 3 minus 2, you're allowed to change that sign, but you have to change the sign of the quantity directly to the right. In this case, the quantity directly to the right is this whole expression, so you have to change the sign of each piece. Okay? So then I can make an addition problem and kind of do what I did there. There's no x squared, so it'd be negative x squared plus x, and then negative 5 plus 1 be minus 4. Okay? F and g that are attached, that means that's going to be a multiplying, so it'd be f of x times g of x. So it'd be x minus 5 times x squared minus 1. So remember this one, you could do the distributive property, you can do FOIL, like I'm going to distribute x into there. X times x squared, now when you're multiplying, remember you add the exponents, that's a power of 1 there, so it's going to be a power of 3. X times negative 1 would be negative 1x. And then negative 5 times x squared would be minus 5x squared. Negative 5 times negative 1 is positive 5. And so do I have any like terms? I don't have any variable base exponent combinations that are the same, so I don't. I could leave this as my answer. I'm going to rewrite it in descending power form, where you go highest power to lowest power. This will be my answer. Okay. Now the next one's pretty simple. F divided by g of x. For the most part, all you're going to have to do in this section is just express this f of x as x minus 5 divided by g of x, x squared minus 1. Now, we learned from doing rational expressions earlier that you would have to go in here and factor and see if there's anything I could cancel. And I could factor that, but it's not going to be able to cancel anything. So I'll leave it like that. Now, I'm just going to make a note here. Technically, that's all I have to put for my answer, but a lot of times they're going to ask for restricted values on here. Okay, so they're restricted values. Remember, we have to ask ourselves, the bottom cannot be 0. So I've got to figure out what makes the bottom equal 0, because whatever does that needs to be excluded from the domain. So I'll add 1, x squared equals to 1, square root, plus or minus. So can't equal those, so I could put x cannot equal negative 1 and 1.